Oh, I just came out here to, I don't know what. Got a bunch of stuff to do in the house, but I wanted to be outside now. Takes a bit to warm up here, like 11 o'clock. It's when temps start coming up. It's not really windy today, which is nice. Yesterday was a bit windy. Got a shitload of wood yesterday. You can see the snow is just about out of here. The garden beds are showing up and it's all good. And it's quiet here. You know, there's a road below us, you know, and for some reason it actually gets super busy. You'll have like 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. Then it's quiet. There'll be like 4 more. But I think it's all the panic shoppers. But today I think there's only been 2 cars all day. It's pretty quiet. Wednesday today. Yeah, so sometimes you come out here and you hear cars. And sometimes you come out here. That's just birds. Birds, birds, birds. And a crow. And eagles. Probably stay in the yard today. I don't know if I'll do firewood. Pretty beat up here. So the greenhouse is looking good. All those concrete things I think are all strawberry things. I've got two cold frames over here and their center bed for the beside the greenhouse. Then I've got a half bed here with 2 big barrel things. Then I've got a full size huge long bed. Runs all the way full length. Don't know what's in it. And we got this one here. Looks like it had corn in it. Full length all the way to here. And then there's still one over here. No idea what was in that. I'll probably put half potatoes or quarter potatoes. And then there's another row behind that. Full length. It's got some of this fencing on there. It's probably good for peas or beans or whatever needs some support. And I think that's it for the bed. So there's 4 pretty well full size, a half size, the greenhouse, all those strawberry things, 2 cold frames, a little center bed. And then behind me is just bush. It's probably all like currants and blackberries and who knows what. We'll find out. I'm not gonna touch this right now until this gets going. We'll clean it up. There's a lot more snow melted out, so I'm gonna go in here and start going at it because it's quite a bit to do. I'll just do the snow-free areas and get that knocked down for now. This is the start of the other side of the wood pile, the wood shed. This was empty actually. So we're gonna fill this right up. It's probably gonna take about 6 rows or so. Probably more. Maybe 8 or 9 rows to come out right up to the side. Do want to fill it up completely. And then of course, the other side, I'm gonna just add to that again. Just gonna have to leave this door, some space around this door. Make sure it doesn't cave in onto it. I haven't seen much ice coming down the river anymore. I think all the big ice floats are done. But the bay on the right looks like that's starting to actually start filling up as we get the snow melt. It'll be interesting how this river changes now. I think the volume's going to kick up pretty quick here. I think in a month or so, it's probably going to have a lot of volume and it'll be quite full. I'm driving to work this morning. Well, not work, like a job, but it will be a working morning. I'm going back to get some more firewood. Monica's right behind me. She's going to give me a hand today. We'll get a full trailer load. And yeah, got the top off the Jeep. It's a beautiful morning. It's a little bit chilly, 8 degrees, but it's going to warm right up here pretty quick. I had the Jeep in the workshop underneath the roof because I don't have the roof panels on it. And I noticed footprints in here. Muddy footprints. So I thought it was kind of like a rodent or something. But the footprints are pretty large, like the size of a house cat at least. So I'm wondering if the fox was in here because we have a fox that runs around. Crazy. I had the windows all down so you can see where he jumped in. Oh, you managed to get up on the doors. It's pretty high, so it's got to be an animal of decent size. Unless he jumped on the hood and jumped through the top. Probably that's what he did, and then he maybe went out this way because the skid marks. That's probably from him jumping out. Seriously. Oh, gotta learn how to jump a little better, dude. These look like cat print size. Got onto the console. I don't know if he went in the back. I don't think so. Maybe up in the dash. This definitely wasn't me. Oh yeah. So he came up from this side and onto the hood. I'm going to take this one here. Healthy size. Bit of a funky lane. It's probably going to want to hit this guy here. I'm going to try to miss it and lay it right in here if possible. If not, I'll probably take that one down with it. Bang on drop. Missed the one I was thinking it was going to hit, just the way I wanted it to. Bullseye. I've got it delimbed, but the end is pretty fat. It's gonna be pretty heavy to carry those. So I think we'll hook up the winch. Okay, winch on. Got some pressure on it. I'm gonna start moving this log here. Gotta stand at a shot's away here. I'm gonna stand over to the side more. Monica's just gonna check, make sure we don't have any major snags. I'm gonna leave it here. It's starting to dig into the bank quite a bit with the weight, the little stumps off the branches. And my cable is starting to spool all on one side. And then you start losing basically gear reduction when the spool gets big like this. And I can't really adjust it unless I move the Jeep. And that's an option. I could move the Jeep over a little bit and then spool the other side a bit more. That's what we're talking about here. That's a lot easier to load. From what we can see, the burn ban will be in effect April 16th, a few days away. So we'll take advantage of it, and actually we took the thorn bush piles and whatever thorny piles we had. And we're getting rid of them right here. It's really, really damp down here, so it's fairly safe. Just gotta watch the grassy area. But it's not gonna get away on you. Still there's a bunch of snow and it's really wet in there.
So fast.
Give her, dude. Go, go, go.
Oh, that was so close. Slow down, Savannah. Oh, you're gonna be sore, buddy. Go, go, go. Whoop. Good stuff, huh?
Come on, you can do more. That's it.
Go get some ice. Oh, yeah.
That's what happens when you chew on dry horse poo. Down to the workshop. It is a complete disaster in here. I guess it could be worse. Just have to organize this stuff. I do actually have the laser out. I think I might take it down to the other field and maybe do a couple warm-up flights. It's been a while since I've flown aircraft. Got the little pit bike in here. I actually put a carb on it, so it's running now. Might be good just to bomb around the property here and there, but I don't use it much. And I've got my Cessna 310. It's gonna be electric conversion. The wings are over here. And I've only got, for gasoline, I've only got my 35cc here. The other two, the bigger ones, are at the coast still. And then here's a scratch-built Decathlon. Jason Braun, you know the Decathlon. This one's actually not too far away. This one's almost flyable, actually. Even with just a skeleton, because I think the wings are covered and the tail's covered. Gonna add the rudder to it, and yeah. Sometimes I test fly them just like this. Just open skeleton, because it doesn't really affect the flight performance a whole lot. Yeah, interesting in here. Got most of my aircraft here. A couple of helicopters, some quads, just all kind of hiding. The other cool thing is this old beach stove. So it looks pretty complete. I wouldn't mind going over this thing, doing a full cleanup and doing just a double check on everything. There's a couple of sites that can help you out with the restoration of these. Yeah, just be kind of cool to test fire this thing and actually use it. Probably use it outside under maybe a covered little thing or something. It'd be kind of cool. What is going on here? Are you coloring?
No.
Out in the sunroom? Where's the other dog?
She's outside.
Oh, she's the tougher one.
I thought I heard a, like...
Justin might be coming up. We were talking about the eggs. What is happening here? Yeah, definitely hear a quad. Let's go check it out. Whoa, you did that all already?
No, just this one. These ones are others.
Oh, there he is. What you doing, buddy? Got a grouse down here by the woodshed. Little forest chicken. Better watch out. Might be a fox down here. Not sure if he's got little babies. I think it's a bit early for that. Oh, I do hear little chick things. Entering the lower property. It's just a makeshift gate. Pop that open. The grass is really low, really short right now. The neighbor's horses have been in here, so there's lots of piles. I'll do the runway just in front of this building. The grass is super short there. So right now I won't have to do anything. I'll just trim it up in the future. Welcome to the Caribou Flying Club. Membership 1. Actually a bit breezy down here. I wanted that breezy for my first flight. I haven't done it in months with an airplane. This will be my clubhouse. It's a little rough. Just kidding. Well, I can keep a couple of things in it, like a table and chairs. And you know, the lighting's actually pretty good. It's not the most amount of space here, that's for sure, because my acreage is like less than an acre and a half. So I got some pasture out here, but definitely for the smaller airplanes, no problem. Probably does go past the tree line a little bit, but probably not going to be flying behind that too much. That's not going to help. I'm going to fly traditional, non-FPV. This will be just line of sight flying in the good old days. I'm pretty well good to go. Gonna do a couple of short flights. Some horse poop in the grass here I should get rid of, because I know when I land or take off, I'll be hitting those, guaranteed. This is one of the neighbor's turkey eggs. We got a dozen yesterday. And this is just a regular store-bought white chicken egg for comparison. We'll have one of those with homemade bacon, crispy potatoes. Got some new bird sounds last couple days. That one there, I don't think I've heard yet. On this feeder I seen a new bird. He's pretty well all brown. We'll have to look him up. He's not here that often. There's not many. It might just be one or two. But he's been here a couple of days now. This tap, I believe was shut off. I found that shut off inside the laundry room underneath the crawl space. There was an arrow for a outside tap. In the rear of the house, that outside tap is working, but this one was shut off. Now it looks like they teed into this probably 3 ways to run all the lines. So the garden one is the green one. It's probably froze, so it's not gonna work. But it runs. They buried it underneath the driveway. I might be able to use it if they drained it. It comes out here, runs through here, and I found the end. It's just over here. If I can get that running, then I can get water in the garden. That'd be pretty awesome. The water, I don't need water in the garden right now on the outside, but the greenhouse is dry as a popcorn, and carrying all the water jugs in there is just getting a little tiring. So if I can get water flowing into the greenhouse, then watering the plants will be a breeze. And then when the rest thaws out, I believe over here is another line coming off from a separate well. When that thaws out more, then I can run the outside beds. I'll figure it all out here. It's starting to thaw out quite a bit, so I'm starting to see where the lines are. I just gotta reconnect them and flush them out. I connected the water. I don't know. I think there's too much ice in the lines, so I don't think it's gonna work for now. What I did for now is just took the garden hoses that we brought and some that were here already. Just gonna bypass that ground line. So I just tied that directly into the greenhouse. So I'll just turn that on and see what happens. I'm assuming that outside line runs underneath and then pops back up here, so you can tie into it here, or then use the upper T, and use these strip lines, which are here. So I found these all pretty short. I don't know how far they'll reach. They're capped at the end, but I don't think they'll reach all the way to the back. So that is a bit of a mystery. I've got all these ones, but I think those belong outside. Let's see if I got water. Probably gonna get soaked here. Yep. We got water. Well, that's cool. I guess for now I'll just take this hose, tie into it. And actually there's a little spray nozzle here. Perfect. Because these beds, they're super dry. They're probably bone dry 3 feet down. So that's going to take a lot of water to actually just get the soil moist enough to grow anything. So that's what I got going here. These peppers. These are peppers. There's broccoli and cauliflower here. These are all tomatoes, beefsteak, and I forgot the other brand. We only got 3 cukes, so we'll get some more going here. Might be a bit early. They're very sensitive to cold, but they can stay in here. They may have to stay in here for a while. I don't want them getting too big because the transplant will be a bit difficult. Got some parsley and chives. These got frosted really hard a few times. Not sure if I'll make it. Got some more parsley in here. This is going to be basil. And we've got a little oregano in this little thing. A couple of stray peppers. This bed was just seeded yesterday, so that's just got a little bit of lettuce in it. Now I kind of went to, I kind of got carried away. I didn't even bother labeling anything. I just thought I'd figure everything out. These might be radishes. There's a row here that hasn't popped yet. I don't remember what the hell these were. And I think these are peas. Pretty sure those are peas. And then there's a row in behind that's just starting to come up. Sort of. What do we got here? Yeah, we've got a couple guys trying. There's something else coming. So I'm pretty sure that whole row is radishes. And then we've got spinach that's doing okay. What I've been doing too is using the water from the house, which has a water softener in it, so it contains salt. That's what these stains are, and that water probably isn't the best for small plants. So I tied into the outside line now, which is just pure well water, and I think that's probably better. But these guys are doing okay. But I think I dug down into the bed and there really wasn't a whole lot going on. It was pretty dry, so the roots aren't really getting the moisture. So main reason why I'm bringing the water in here, so I can just soak the beds. Then I'll carry on with planting. Let's get this stuff out of here. Bit of a mess. I think I'm gonna prep the rest of the bed here. I'll move all that stuff out of the way and lay the. I'll just dig up the dirt. We'll go through it and sift through it, dig out the old roots, whatever I can find in there. And I think I'll lay the drip lines. And then I think I'll put this whole bed to use right about now. Next forecast doesn't look like we'll have any really harsh frost, so maybe we can start working on this. I'm gonna lay the drip lines and give it a good soaking. Then we'll start seeding and transplanting. All the lines are in, but I'm gonna have to do the other side too because those pipes are wide open, so I can't just turn the water on. It's not gonna come through these drip lines then. Today is really quiet. That's really weird. There's no wind. So there's not even any rustle in the trees. Oh, that's kind of weird. That's almost too quiet. Nah, no such thing. I'm in the orchard part looking at this messy sour cherry tree. I'll salvage the bigger pieces and I'll use it for the smoker. And then it's gonna get rid of these branches and all that jazz. You can see the snow is just about gone in here, so I can pick up my branches and rake up a little bit. So this will be just a hangout area, right? Beer drinking and BLT eating, chip munching. I don't even know what that sound is. Sounds like an owl, but I think it's a dog far away. So the beds are pretty well unthawed. I don't even know where to start, but I'm not gonna lay these lines because these beds, I want to prep them. So we'll just leave them hooked up the way they are just to equalize the pressure. And I just want to make sure that this side's working. I was gonna dig up all these beds and clean up the dirt, but I don't know what's in here actually and if it's gonna come back, but I already spotted this. I don't know what the hell these are. Probably gonna be flower bulbs or something. So I'm not gonna do any digging in this one. And over here, I'm not sure what it was used for. There's actually little flowers popping up. The bed's pretty rough, so I don't know if this was just mixed. Obviously this had corn in it, so that's not a big deal. Half of it. And this one here looks like it's maybe potatoes. Highly likely. So these two beds, I can just go at it and do what I want with them. This one here, not sure, and not sure on that one. And then I still have this big one here. And again, I think there's things in here I may not want to dig up right now. Well, I've got my work cut out. I got water pressure back in this line. Do with that, so I'll shut this off and that should allow me to run the drip line. So we'll turn this on and see what happens. There they go. Guess they all gonna fill up. Yeah, here they go. Probably gonna have a blowout and I'll get soaked. That usually happens to me. Ooh, after rusty water there. Oh, that one's not closed. That one I gotta tie off. Whoa. Now, let's try that again. I just taped off the end of the one that had a blowout. Looks like the lines are full. That's a squirter. Oh, got another blowout. Nope, blew the hose off that one. Okay, that was an easy fix. Let's try again and not get soaked. Pressure on. Oh boy. Okay, how we're doing over here? think some of these holes are probably completely plugged. Ah, that one's going. Oh, got another blowout. I guess it's one way to figure out how the equipment works. These are pretty straightforward, so, but let's try again. Jesus. Lots of noises over here. That's just water. That's kind of all we want, is just for them to do that. I don't want a big geyser. This one here is kind of shooting a little much. Well, we can just tape that off, I think, and make a new hole. Okay, all is quiet here for now. I'll keep an eye on this. I don't think I'll be leaving and letting this run on its own till it's been gone over a few times. So I'll probably just manually soak the rest of the bed. That'll go a lot quicker. And then we'll have a look, see what I'm going to put in here. Bunch more cutting down here. This is an old pile that the previous owner had, so in the fall I guess I'll burn that. I'll add the bigger pieces to it over the year. I've still got some to go, but it's getting there. It's a bit of a gray day today. It actually rained overnight. Doesn't rain here very often, compared to the coast at least. I've got a couple days left on this burn before the band comes in. I'll do another burn this morning. I'll get rid of this barrel full of stuff, and I've still got this pile. Maybe some of this dry grass here, I'm gonna rake it up. I cut a whole bunch of this yesterday. This is a bunch of bushes and thorns that I've raked up. This is another burn pile that was from the original owner. And I can cut this back a bit more and maybe just get rid of all the trimmings. This old barrel I found on the property, it's kind of beat up and rough and dented, and the bottom's kind of rusty. It's like 30% rotten out. You can see it's kind of hanging on the bottom there, which was actually fine because that's the only way you're gonna get some air in the barrel. Because if you just burn like this, it'll just snuff itself out. It'll just smoke and smoke because it's not getting any air, only from the top, and it doesn't work very well when you're trying to do a burn. And this hole here isn't going to do a whole lot either. So it needs to have ventilation on the bottom. Now there's a couple ways to get around this, or how to approach the ventilation for the barrel. You can cut a hole on the side, or just pound one in with something, or maybe a cutoff wheel. You can use that, or in my case, probably just an 870 with a Magnum slug. It's going to be a lot quicker. Make a hole or two and done. Pretty sure that'll do it. There's a few different ways to start the fire barrel also. Let's try my way. Most yard waste and trimmings are fairly green, damp. They don't burn that well. So yeah, this will light on fire pretty easy, but you won't have a good fire at the bottom to keep it hot enough so you can just keep adding all the other trimmings and burn it till it'll just smolder away. And so it's important to have a pretty good fire in the bottom. So I'm going to use some of my wood from the woodshed. We'll get a little fire in the bottom that's going to just keep it nice and hot, and whatever I throw on top will just burn. Newspaper is good, from 2013. That should do it. And some wood. Here's your wood. It's good and dry. Just chuck that in. Most of you would say, well, that's not a very good setup. All the wood and stuff is on top. How's that gonna work? You're right, I built it wrong, so I need some help. We got some old fuel. I don't know if I was lugging this around, but when I moved, I had some old two-stroke fuel, and I couldn't really get rid of it. I could have, but... So what you want to do is just put a little bit on. So that should do it. But today is kind of cold, and it's raining. So we'll put a little bit more on. Smells good. So this is not a how-to video, so don't try this at home. And if you do, and you burn your house down and your neighbor's house and half the city, it's not my problem, okay? Now with the custom ventilation holes, there's actually way less smoke, burns way hotter, and probably 3 times as fast. Like, I could barely keep up putting things in here as it was burning down. So that pile I had is gone. Just a matter of minutes. I raked a lot of the dry grass out of the way, but it's raining pretty decent right now. So I'm gonna actually light this pile on fire. It's pretty unsightly and it's right in the middle. So we'll just burn that down. I'm gonna have to be out here and babysit this thing and rake some more grass and make sure nothing goes. But if it goes up slope, the driveway is at the top. It can't go across that. It's just all runny, muddy. So no problem there. But it's pretty damp, so I'm pretty confident we're not gonna have a runaway here. I did grow up on a farm and worked with the cattle ranchers for a lot of years when I was young, so this is not really all new to me. That's working real good. Looks like those 2 fires are doing just fine. They're hot. It's getting a little smoky now. They don't have as much flame as before. I'm starting to get caught up with fuel. But wherever this pile here, I was thinking of burning it, but there wasn't that much in there, so I dragged it all out and I dragged it to the bigger pit. There's a couple of trees in here I actually had to buck up with the saw. And then there's a remainder of all this prickle bush. I'm gonna take the 111 and just take it all down so I can clear all this area up, and then I guess next will be this lovely outhouse. I just push over the bank, right? That's what they do in the campgrounds. All right, let's mow all this down. Been out here for, I don't even know what time it is. Pretty well steady since after my breakfast, which wasn't very big, so it's time for lunch. And hey, Chris Keeley, this is a lot of work. This is just a tiny section of what needs to be done here, so yeah. Monica's lucky to be inside because it's pissing rain. It's actually not even warm. Away from the fire, it's I'm pretty wet and damp and cool. Let's get back to work and get her done. It's getting there slowly, but I'm winning. I get the rest of this edge cut, and then I can actually just I'm gonna take this back a little bit more. Not sure how much. I'll leave some of the bushes, but yeah, I've got a lot more space, especially over here. I think it's actually going to be okay. Little rec area if people want to come over and camp or something. You can put badminton net up, whatever, maybe a fire pit, permanent fire pit. Do some extra landscaping. It'll be a usable area. Now is also a good time to rake up all the bark heads in here from splitting wood. So the ground's all uneven. It's actually quite piled up by the wheelbarrow. It's quite high, but it's a little bit wet. But in here, I'll take all the loose stuff here and get back to the ground, and might as well burn this. Worked out awesome. Stuff these old trimmings in here and a couple end bits, and I'm done with this pile. The grass will grow over here in a couple of weeks, and you'll never know. It actually rained today. It actually rained fairly heavy today. But that was alright, because that actually let me get away with doing my burn the way I wanted to. Took a bit of a break here. I got some beer, and I'm going to have a beer right now, but it's about 5:30. The snow is pretty well gone here, except this part of the driveway. Speaking of driveway, I am going to hook up the trailer and pick up those little trees I cut a month ago or so, 6 weeks ago, when I thinned out the driveway. There's a whole bunch of Christmas tree size things down there, and I did do some trimming, so there's some trim on the side. So I'm just gonna take the Jeep. I had it underneath the carport because there's no top on it, and it was raining last night and today. I've got more of these prints, and they sure look like cat prints. And the neighbor was up the other day with eggs and said, yeah, there is a cat, kind of a stray cat that goes around. So that could be it. The weird thing is, I left some kibble, and there was something on the hood, a couple of treats, and they weren't taken. So yeah, it's actually good to have the carport, put the Jeep under. I usually keep the Jeep down in the workshop if there's going to be any rain. Because the Jeep doesn't actually fit in here. I've got my tough tote hitting the roof. It's on the bottom of the driveway here, and it's a bit soggy here. I don't really have a proper ditch. And I was wondering what the hell was making all that noise, like running water. Well, it's here. But up in there, it sounds like a raging creek. I'm gonna go check this out. Okay, that's a little bizarre. Why is there a little waterfall here? I'm sure it's just seasonal, temporary because of the snow melt, but kind of odd. Huh. All right, I'll take it, but no idea. Tomorrow when I get time, I'm gonna check out what's going on with this. That's just gonna be snow melt from the, it flattens up. It flattens out a lot up top, so there's still snow, so I guess maybe it's just melting out and finding its way down. But I'm pretty sure no such creek is mentioned on the property maps. There's one further down actually on the other gully, and beside the workshop, which are usually underground. Huh, kind of cool. So it all seems to run into this corral we got going on here, or what's left of it. Very odd. So it kind of floods this place, and then it runs out. Through the driveway, there's a bit of a gate here. And yeah, you can see, obviously, it makes a bit of a lake. Runs across the street, which is not ditched, so I guess it irrigates my field. There you go. Property going down this way goes quite a ways actually. A few hundred meters. And I've only been on the property think that way just once, all the way, and then up, which has a really cool forest. It's a little bit different than this one. It's more open. Maybe it's a bit more mature even. It's cleaned out a lot. Let's fix the lighting again here. It looks a little pale because it's actually pretty cool. We've got a mix of sun and cloud. Had some good rain today. It's really pleasant. I just got a t-shirt on and just a light shirt on top. The car had the coast. The car I had at the coast. I think it'll make it up the driveway now. It's pretty well de-iced. Driveway's looking good. It's a little bit rutted, so I've been driving the Jeep and straddling it. It's looking like this now. It's not bad compared to the sheets of ice I had. It was a foot thick. It's pretty bad. Okay. I think as time goes on, we're gonna find a whole bunch of cool things on the property. Maybe some not so cool things, but it's kind of how it goes. So there is a bit of a ditch. It will run in here. So what I'm gonna do is maybe open up that channel a little bit. And that is downhill. It'll run. It'll run that way. It's probably the highways department job to do that, but not sure how many times they really come out this way. So yeah, if I don't dig it up, it'll just run across the street. Not a huge deal. All right, let's get this driveway done. I've got the trailer on, and so I'm just gonna make my way up and pick up the stuff I cut. Oh, there's beer in here. Perfect. So I'm just making myself up the driveway, 4 low. Pick up all the trees I cut. Let's fix the lighting here. It's actually a pretty cool sky. We've got some clouds today. Imagine that, and then rain. Yeah, so I cut these about 6 weeks ago. They were just thick standing, way too thick in there. I still have to pick through it again, and they're just all in here. So pick them up as I go. I'm almost at the workshop. Almost done, having some beers, and it's, I guess, beer time. Oh, wifey's out helping. She's raking up some of the stuff I had cut a couple days ago and loading up the trailer. It's pretty well full, so we're gonna have to burn this tonight, I guess. Driveway's a little bit soggy. It's draining okay. Most of the snow is gone, so it's gonna dry up here real quick. The drainage is really good on here. And the drainage on this beer is pretty good too. This is like the Christmas tree burning. Except these are all ours. And they're not really dry. But they gotta go. Gotta get this cleaned up. Because I won't be able to do this later on. It's a pretty sensitive area for fire, so. Get all these trimmings done. And no, I'm not gonna take this to town. Because I'd be doing like 30 trailer loads at $25 in fuel each and an hour and a half each. So no. We're gonna burn on site and have a carbon footprint. That's how it is. That's the last of that load. He's not sure what the hell. Here we go. This is the Bush 500. Scrap burning pile 500 right here. Get the next load on before it dies down. Clearing out the system, I guess.
Oh yeah, you can see the blue sky up there. Let's push it through. Oh yeah, it is raining.
A little bit of rain coming.